I'm Anup Kurup, and I am one of the people who runs Founders Roundtable. I also run an agency called Octopussy Consulting, wherein we help companies with their marketing. We help them go from contacts to contracts and scale up their marketing and sales systems. So, in today's session, I'm going to take you through how to generate leads using LinkedIn, and that too without ads. LinkedIn is a very, very powerful platform, and we can do multiple things with LinkedIn. What a lot of people don't realize is LinkedIn does not curb you, unlike, let's say, a Facebook or Instagram, where organic reach is low, where you have to pay a lot of money to actually achieve any kind of objectives or even network with people properly. Since LinkedIn is built for professional networking, they don't have as many restrictions. You can reach out to a lot of people, you can network with a lot of people, you can increase your network, you can even sell. But lead generation, where you are generating interest in somebody to actually work with you, how do you do that on LinkedIn? One way is to use LinkedIn ads. LinkedIn has its own ad platform, very powerful and very expensive too. It's almost 10 times more expensive than, let's say, a Facebook. But it's also very, very effective because you can target people by role. You get very good results on LinkedIn. Having said that, we always want to test our theories and confirm that this type of marketing will work or not work. Or if we are trying something new, launching a new product, we don't want to spend a lot of money trying to get customers. What we want to do is test the market and see if we can get customers for the product or service that we are launching. Or yet another way to think about it is you're trying to use LinkedIn as a platform for the first time, and you're not sure how effective this platform is going to be for you and your business. Instead of spending a lot of money, you can use some of the tricks that I'm going to teach you today to generate leads for your business, for your new product, or even trying to test the platform. It will help get started, and definitely you will be able to see results. Either positive, yes, you're going to get a lot of results from LinkedIn, or negative, saying that LinkedIn is not the right platform for you. Both are good results according to me. So now let's jump right in and learn a few things about LinkedIn. I am assuming that everybody's LinkedIn page looks something similar to this. You will have some news here, you will have your photo and some of these stats, you'll have your saved items here, you have your pages, you have your recent groups, what you have participated in, some events or some hashtags you follow. Of course, in the center is the feed. Right? So I'm going to click this new post and see what is coming up. Well, fantastic. I'm not going to play the video. And some ads. You see this one, this promoted, there's an ad. LinkedIn platform allows you to put these ads. Right? And the benefit of an ad is those who are interested will click on the call to action button and go ahead and sign up or buy or whatever that is. So it's a better way, faster way of generating a lead, but also, as I said, very expensive. And if you're unsure of LinkedIn as a platform or unsure or launching a new product, then don't use this method as in the ad method. So when I hover over here on Sandeep's name, what I see is co-founder of a digital agency helping growth stage startups build lead generation assets and conversion optimized sites. Interesting, isn't it? He's not saying he's a CEO or a CTO or CFO of a company. He's neither saying that he is a passionate entrepreneur or something like that. Isn't it interesting? I mean, what he's stating is what he does. He is a co-founder, period. It's a digital agency that creates lead generation assets and conversion optimized sites. I do believe it can get much better, but still. Right? Okay, let's look at another profile. Product strategist, market researcher. Doesn't really help a lot if you want to look at this, profile. Leadership and life coach. Okay, straightforward. If you're looking for a leadership and life coach, great. So why am I doing this? Why am I scrolling through the profile and showing you this? This is important because even before you start thinking of campaigns, on LinkedIn, there are a few things that you need to prepare. Let's see what those things are. So I'm going to take my own profile. I'm not going to use others' profile for this for obvious reasons. Now, something interesting to note, I have not mentioned my company name here. It's my name, creating client engine for B2B services and B2B SaaS businesses, proven system for rapid top line growth. This is actually called the headline. And many people leave the headline blank. So what happens is it picks up this, whatever your title is or role is. You don't want that to happen. Trust me. When you're trying to use LinkedIn for lead generation, it is better to edit your profile so that it shows up nicely to your prospects, to the cold leads that you want to reach out, and you have an opportunity to impress them. Why? Because first thing that shows up is this, your name, and after that your title. Even in messages, I'll show you how that happens. Second thing people notice is your photo. It's tiny in the messages, but then doesn't matter because your people will still see the photo. Okay, there's a photo and it's not blank. Your photo is not, let's say, standing out for the wrong reasons. That's enough. Don't overthink how professional the photo has to be. Well, sometimes it also matters what profession you are in. If you're a lawyer, it's better to be suited up. If you are, let's say, a DJ, it's better to be dressed down a little bit. So think of the audience you want to reach. Think of the people who will see your profile, who you want should see your profile, and put up a photo accordingly. Don't put a photo which will draw any kind of negative comments. If that happens, then the first impression the potential customer has is negative. Then to get over that negative impression and actually get to a positive impression is very difficult. I'm focusing so much on the photo because we are visual animals. We recognize faces really fast, and which means that the first thing we will observe is the photograph. And once we see the photo, we create an impression. If the impression is wrong, then that's it, done. Second thing you can do, of course, is this thing, your banner. I put a banner, colorful with black and white and all that, and I put something there. Well, again, similar to the photo, as long as the banner doesn't stand out for wrong reasons, you're okay. Put something which is relevant to your company, to your business. That is enough. If your business is you, as in you are a coach, a trainer, etc., then say trainer for so and so, etc. at the banner. So it is very clear what you do. Also, you need to notice that many people browse LinkedIn on the mobile, which means these things matter a lot more on the mobile. So I hope this much is clear. You have to have a photograph. You have to have your name for obvious reasons. You need to have this headline. Now, two sentences about the headline. When you're writing your headline, make it useful for the other person. Make it clear what you do, whom you target. I have said B2B services and B2B SaaS. It's very clear. Nobody can have a doubt that who are my target customers. If these are my target customers, then anybody who's coming to my profile and not within this, let's say, industry should not proceed. They know I'm not going to service them. They know I'm not going to work with them. If it's an e-commerce person coming to my profile, well, I can't help them. Or I don't want to, rather. I don't have the expertise to work with them. So be very clear about whom you want to work with in your headline. Be very clear what value you are adding. Here I say the client engine, which is a proprietary system and methodology that I've developed. It's for top line growth for these type of businesses. It's very clear what they will get if they work with me. If they don't want these results, if they are not looking for somebody to help them with marketing, sales, and growth, then they should not be in my profile. They should leave. Very clear, right? Why is it so? The reason is very simple. When you are trying to work with a business, you want to work with them because they need your services. You don't want bad customers. Another reason I will tell you is when you are doing lead generation, you may end up taking 10 calls a day. Let's say you proceed and you have 10 calls scheduled for a day. If 9 of those 10 calls are people who are asking you, what do you do? What do you do? It's a waste of time. You don't want to get on a call where the other person is unclear of what you do for them. Or worst case scenario, where the other person is wondering why did you contact them, because all your profile says is you're a CEO or founder or co-founder or an entrepreneur. Not useful. Remember, your LinkedIn profile is to be consumed as in seen by others. It's not for you. It's constructed so that the world sees it. So create your LinkedIn profile in a manner that impresses the potential customer that comes to your profile page. Another thing I've seen many people not do is this. This is my URL, the public URL. It's linkedin.com/in, that is for India, /Anupkur. It's very easy to remember. It's very easy to share. Go look at your LinkedIn profile. Does it say your name and XYZ and 10 digits after that? That's not a very professional looking URL, isn't it? So if I want to share this URL, I can go easily share this URL. I'm not embarrassed about it, right? It doesn't look odd. It's my name. So go claim your URL. Sometimes your name might be taken up, like you might have a common name that 10 people may have that name or 50 people may have that name. It becomes difficult for you to have that URL with you. Then in that case, what you should do, and this is a simple tip, right? You should write your name followed by hyphen and what you do. Sales expert, leadership coach, etc. You may not have that many characters. See how many characters you have. It makes life easy because when you share that link, first of all, you stand out, right? The link itself says, your name and the profession you are in. So the person who's looking at the URL knows whose URL it is, right? If at all they save it or they want to share it, it becomes easier. All right. Then another thing that I have noticed people do is not have an about section. This. How to write an about section? It's similar to how you write the profile headline. You kind of elaborate whom you work with, right? What you do in the first two lines. Then you elaborate why you are doing it, what is the problem statement you're trying to solve, and then a little bit about you. I am so and so, and I do this much, this type of work, etc., etc. It makes it easier to do these things. There's another factor: collect as many recommendations as you can. Well, nowadays it's getting more and more difficult because people don't want to write testimonials at all. They prefer to give a video testimonial, which is also good. Unfortunately, LinkedIn has not put a place where you can put up the video testimonials yet. All right, so now let us look at the next part, which is how to generate leads. How to create a campaign to generate leads. First thing that you need to do before you think of generating a campaign is be very, very clear whom do you want to reach out to. Why is it so? I will tell you in a bit. Second, be very clear about what you're selling. Don't say, let us talk and I will figure out what to sell to you. No, doesn't work. You should come up with an offer for a particular person or people and sell that offer to them and be sure that they need what you're selling. If they don't need what you're selling, they will not respond. Right? There is a tool called Sales Navigator. You can see this up here. If you don't have Sales Navigator, just Google LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You will get the link, go there, and you get 30 days free. 30 days free. So 30 days is enough time for you to test whether LinkedIn works for your business or not. And here it says search for leads and accounts, right? Of course, there's a little bit of settings to be done, but that you can do easily. Once you're here, LinkedIn borrows all the settings from LinkedIn and allows you to do a bunch of things. So here there are two options: lead filters or account filters. What is a lead filter? Lead filter is filtering for people. If you want to directly reach out to people, then you want to reach out to HR managers, for example, right? So that's a lead filter where you're reaching out to roles or people directly. Account filters are nothing but when you want to reach out to companies. You want to reach out to companies that are in the field of research, have more than 500 employees, then that is a filter to you. Why would you reach out to companies? Let's say what you sell is fairly expensive and has big value and only big companies can afford it. Then it's better to filter out the 50 or 100 companies that you want to reach out and then dig deeper into those companies rather than trying to filter and say, okay, everybody who's R&D head. won't work for you, right? So knowing your market is important before you start this. This is how the lead filter will look like. Overall, LinkedIn has about 26 different filters that they make available to you. 26. You can also do something like this, B2B, or. If you type in or in capital, it is a boolean. It's actually you saying this or that. I want to add a location, Bangalore. I want to select this from in IT and IT services industry. I'm looking for people who are either owners or partners, company headcount. I, for example, and I'm doing this search for myself. Your criteria may vary, right? I want to look at people, companies which are 1 to 10 people or 11 to 50. You know what? 1 to 10 doesn't make sense. Let's do 11 to 50. So again, groups are a good idea, right? Because people in groups have more or less homogeneous interests, and those are the people you want to target, if at all you want to target groups. Great. So there, it shows up 241 results as a search. Now I have received this many um, potential leads. I call them cold leads, just to keep terminology simpler. I call this list a cold lead list because I've not reached out to them. They don't know that I'm here, sitting here, trying to help them out. This is done. But if I exit this, immediately what will happen is this result will disappear. So what do I do? How do I ensure that this result is saved? Yes, LinkedIn has some things to help us. It says save to list. Right? I've created multiple lists. It goes on and on because I keep using this. I can create a lead list now. I can name it anything and I can have a description here. So let's just create one. It's saved to the list. It says it can't save, but it can save. I can. Now, here is another trick. So this is a little bit of an advanced trick, what I'm going to tell you now. You see 241 results, but only 60 people have been active on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. What is the point of reaching out to the other 181 people if they are not active on LinkedIn? They will never see my message or my marketing content. It's a waste of time to reach out to these people, the rest of the people. I will click on this. And then whoever is in this list, I will save them all to my latest, whatever, B2B less than 50 owners list. 25 leads were saved. You have to do it 25 at a time. It won't do more than 25. The list is like that. That's fine. What about the search? I've done a search here. How do I save the search? Here on top, you can see save search. I will just say, you can save up to 15 searches, I think. So I'm just naming it randomly. I could also name it with Bangalore, but my primary target market is in Bangalore. So I'm saving it as 50 leads. So what happens is, see here on top, you have saved searches. This is, and weekly it will tell me and it will pop up a message saying that new people are available within your search if somebody new has come in the search criteria. I also have my list saved here, right? So I can see all the people saved in various lists here. I've saved 25. You can see 25 people saved here. Now here is an interesting fact. I can do this. So not only is LinkedIn allowing me to reach all these people, unlike your premium account where you can reach everybody in LinkedIn, but here is something beyond it. It is allowing me to manage this entire data set, right? How do I manage the data set? No outreach activity has been done so far. It's telling me that no outreach activity has been done so far. So how do I do this? And account is not there. There's no account. So I can add the account. What does it mean? Account is basically the company name. Right? So many of them are part of my other list. That is why it's showing up here. Now see, while I'm doing this, it's not very helpful to understand their co-founder, CTO. Okay, what do they do? I have no idea, isn't it? I can click on these three dots. I can send them a message. What is a message? A message is nothing but LinkedIn in mail. The number of email you get per month on LinkedIn Sales Navigator is only 60, so use them sparingly. And in India, what I've noticed is it's not a great idea because many people enter their uh, personal email IDs in LinkedIn, or the email IDs they don't monitor quite often. So what happens, even if I send an email, it will end up in their email inbox, which they may not be monitored. So waste of time actually to do that. Well, not always, as I said. Probability of reaching their professional inbox or inboxes that they monitor quite often is low. So it's not zero. You will still reach some people like that, but with 60 credits, you don't want to use it quite often, right? You want to use it sparingly. And click connect. What is this? This is a connection request. So I better write something here which is compelling, which will make Anirudh connect with me, isn't it? I should not send this just like that. Don't send a blank invitation when you're trying to do lead generation activities. The other person may or may not connect with you, then, and they don't know why you have connected with them. So there's an opportunity to impress upon them or filter them out. Both are important. As I said, I don't want to talk to people who don't show any interest or who may not be relevant to my business, especially when I'm doing this activity. It's a waste of their time as well as your time. So it's better to put a message here which is relevant to what you do. So here is how you should write the message. Hi, I'm so and so. I help businesses like yours, whatever B2B businesses, do XYZ, or I have a product that will help you save time, money, energy, or something like that. Right? It should be very relevant to that person, that role, that company, and then send that message out. And once you send that connection message out, the person sees it, reads it, they may or may not connect with you again. Right? So typically what happens is 30% to 40% of people will connect. So every 100 message or connection request you send, 30 people will connect with you. And I have already shown you one trick, that is people who are active on LinkedIn. Don't send messages to people who are not active on LinkedIn. In the past 30 days, it's a waste of time. So when people are active on LinkedIn for 30 days, send them this message. Your chances of connecting with them goes high. You can get up to 50-60% connection rates if the message is very, very relevant. And I'm not sending that. You can also add a note here, right? What happened, what did you talk to the person. So rather than shifting all this into a CRM, you can do it here initially. And you are in the lead generation mode, right? You're not in the closure or sales closure mode. Say again, people who do marketing as well as sales, or if you have sales and marketing teams, they don't use the same tools typically. So a marketing team will come up with a lead, qualify the lead, nurture the lead. Once the lead reaches a certain stage, right? Let's say they are ready to talk to a salesperson or they have shown some interest, they will pass the lead on to the CRM, where the sales team will take over the lead and take them through the funnel and close the deal. So you're doing marketing right now. You're trying to do lead generation. So you don't want to mix this entire database of cold leads, and I am repeating that, cold leads, with your CRM, which is hot or warm leads. Okay, I'm just going to take some person here. I don't know. Okay, fine. So, Subramanian, Mr. Subramanian. Okay, what does he do? I don't know. I have to look at it. He's the founder CEO of this company, which is okay. They help you find softwares. Okay, fine, great. Matching of business platform problems to digital solutions. They're like a platform matching company. Great. Now, for my business, is not very relevant, but that's fine. I can do another thing here. So this, if you see, this dashboard is very different than the dashboard that you see on LinkedIn profiles. This profile is very different than LinkedIn profiles. They had a lot more information up here, right? In this view, makes it easy to sort through this person. Okay, is it interesting? Should I connect with the person? Not connect with the person, etc. Right? There are other factors. I can message them from here at top, right? Same thing as messaging, or I can send a connection request from here. Right? I can add a note. I can view on LinkedIn.com, which will be a different view, which is a different view. Okay? And what else can I do? And this is where it becomes very powerful and very, very interesting. I can add a note, which you have already seen. Right? But I can also add a tag. You see, LinkedIn already gives you certain tag fields. Other than this, you can also manage the tag list and say, this is a lead, warm lead, hot lead, cold lead, irrelevant, etc. Opportunity is another word people use, right? Customer is another tag you may want to use if they become customers. They are the decision maker, non-decision maker. So if you know sales, then you know band qualification criteria exists, right? Sales teams also qualify leads. So band is one of them is budget, authority, need, and timeline. Authority, basically, if the person is not a decision maker, you don't want to talk to them. So I can always see it's a decision maker that I'm talking to. I need to follow up this with this person to ensure that the other criteria is meet before I pass them on to the sales team. Or if you are doing the sales, then you can do this yourself. Right? So tagging helps you get those people back and you can follow up. So before even you send the CRM, or even if you don't use the CRM, a lot of stuff can be done on LinkedIn Sales Navigator itself. Yet another thing you can do is you can see who all you are connected to. And you can see if these people can connect you to this person, a referred connection. A referred connection is obviously better than a cold approach. Now, the question, do you really want to do referred connection again and again? Until unless it's a very high value lead that you're going after, don't bother about referred connections because it takes a longer time and conversion rates will be similar. Now we are talking about a scenario where you're clear about what you want to do and whom you want to target. Okay. There's yet another thing I want to show you, which is their Sales Navigator inbox is different from LinkedIn inbox. Certain times people don't connect with you, they don't accept, and they will send you a message and it will end up in Sales Navigator inbox. Or they may be using Sales Navigator and it will end up in Sales Navigator inbox. So you will have to monitor both, unfortunately. When you use Sales Navigator, you will have to monitor both the message boxes, Sales Navigator, as well as LinkedIn inbox. Let me move to another deeper thing about lead generation, which is messaging. What type of message to send, what type of sequence to follow, how do you follow up, how do you ensure you are having a conversation with a person. We will look at that. This is the first message that was sent. By the way, I've used some kind of automation to send these messages out. I will show you how to do that a little later. Yeah. So I've sent to Saurabh Gupta. Hi Saurabh, I help B2B businesses generate leads using LinkedIn without advertising. That's what we are talking about today. Our current clients get qualified leads from corporates and MNCs on a daily basis. There's a typo here. Let us connect if this interests you. Regards, okay. Sell to buyers. Somebody who's not interested in LinkedIn lead generation is not going to like this message. Somebody who is a small B2B business and in desperate need of sales right now is going to love this message. The connection requests I'm sending per day is about 50 and I'm getting about 30 people connecting with me on this. Not all of them respond, but that's okay. So this is the connection message that I sent. Once somebody connects and they don't respond, for example, Saurabh here has not responded. What they have done is they have connected, they have accepted my connection request, they have not responded. So I'm sending another message. Thank you for connecting. I'm assuming you want to know more about what we can help you, how we can help you generate leads. And then I ask a question, do let me know what type of businesses you want us to target. It's a little bit of a leading question. It's deliberate also, because as I said, this effort is not just to connect with people, it's also to generate a lead. I'm not purely doing networking here, I'm trying to generate a lead. Is this offensive? No, it's not. It's a question, right? You either answer it or don't answer it. Saurabh has not answered it, maybe because he's not seen it. Oh, he's seen it, I think. Yeah, he's seen it. He may answer it, I will follow up. Now, let us see. All right, this is an interesting message, Samir, right? So I sent a message to Samir. Thanks for the outreach. He says, currently everything is on hold, but we'll stay in touch. Thank you, Samir. I will stay in touch. And I will stay in touch. After a month or a couple of weeks, I will send something useful to Samir. See, the idea is not to be a pain, right? You don't want to be buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. You don't want to do that. You have to be useful to people. You have to add value to people. Now, in a couple of weeks, I am going to send him something which is useful to his business or in the general area of his business. Right? Christopher, he clearly says, I'm not at present looking for lead generation services. Fine, I will stay in touch. Remember, you are doing marketing and sales. Sales is all about suffering through rejections till you get a yes. For every 10 people you approach, 8 will say no immediately, 2 will say let's talk, but you don't leave those 8. You keep in touch, you add value. Out of those 8, 5 will convert over a period of time. It seems people are not going to buy from you immediately. Don't sell immediately as far as possible. Um, Let us see. Okay, Vikas, somebody I've been trying to speak with. I've had a chat with him. So I sent him these messages. Immediately he reverts and says, call me. And we are having a discussion about when to call. Right? Okay, here you go, Nilesh. Uh, so tomorrow I'm busy. We can talk after 6 p.m. Right? When did this happen? This happened on Wednesday. Right? Let's see. So I send this message. Interesting. How do you do it? Different people have different responses to the same message. So I send him something about what we do and ask him for a call. This is the response. Interesting. I don't know this profile. For example, they say, thank you, but we do the same thing in house, which is fine. So my criteria was not correct. I reached the wrong person. I should have known they have an in house team then. Then I send them a request to come and join us on this current uh, webinar that we are in. So here is the thing. If you are in the market to sell, try to optimize every opportunity you get. I have not done this with everybody, but I know they could be a bigger account, so I have done that. Subhash, for example, we got into a call yesterday. Somebody asked me about sessions. I send them a list. Yeah. Same again with Ritu. Many people have not responded. For example, Meena asked me to make. So I had a very detailed chat with Meena, in fact, right? I had a 1 hour chat with Meena, and then I sent her some details about what we do, videos and other things. So it's ongoing, right? I mean, it's going on. I mean, the messages are coming in, I'm chatting with them. Again, there are filters here. So this can become overwhelming because you can't track of the messages. Right? And again, in Sales Navigator, it will show up only if it is tracked in Sales Navigator, properly tracked. I don't want to show you the Sales Navigator because some confidential stuff is there. Let's see, unread messages. I just want to filter. In the morning, I just want to, somebody is asking me a link for today's message. Today's too late, I guess. But these are 2 people I need to respond to today. So after the session, I will most probably be responding with them, corresponding with them. At the same time, some get sent to spam, some have sent me email. Now, here's the interesting factor. This entire thing, right, has happened. Okay. So this entire messaging, how to respond, how to chat with people, all that is done. How to follow through is also done. Right? Okay. Now, let us see if there is some message lying in the Sales Navigator inbox. I told you there are 2 inboxes for you now, right? No, the last one was on 25th of June. Why? As I said, I'm using another tool that helps me manage these messages. And when I use that tool, all of this goes back into, let's say the LinkedIn inbox itself rather than the Sales Navigator inbox. Okay. Again, in the Sales Navigator inbox, there are other features too. You can see their number, their email ID, website, etc. All this comes up here. The unfortunate part is, let's say, this jumping around, right? Because they accept your connection and they go to LinkedIn, then the chat is happening there. Sometimes the chat is happening here, half of the chat is in Sales Navigator inbox and half of the chat happens in LinkedIn inbox. And it can be very confusing, there some question was answered and here another question is being answered and you kind of lose track of it. And this confusion, I hope they will fix in the upcoming updates that they do. The tool is called vConnect, v-connect.io. You see this? I am in the tool. This is my dashboard. Interestingly enough, this tool uses your LinkedIn account. So you cannot share the tool with others, by the way. All right. It uses your LinkedIn account login to log you in. What is this tool about? What does it do? It's a fantastic and superb tool. Let me show you. First of all, this is one tool which LinkedIn has never banned. There are other tools like DuckSoup and LinkedIn Reacher and blah, blah, whatever. Right? All the tools have gotten banned at one point or the other for abusing LinkedIn's limits. This tool ensures you are kept in the limit. They don't allow you to send too many messages. They don't allow you to send bulk messages. It drips. It goes, after a few minutes, So LinkedIn doesn't feel you're trying to, manipulate by sending bulk messages at the same time. It's a slow tool. You will get frustrated if you use the tool and you want immediate responses. It will not happen. It takes a little time for it to fetch data from LinkedIn, send data. So it's a slow tool, but it works. It works wonderfully. You can do profile visits. These are profile visits, right? So when you visit somebody's profile, they want to see, okay, who's visited my profile? In turn, they visit your profile. That's one way to influence people on LinkedIn, right? Let's say this campaign which was sent, right? 17% people have replied. Somebody asked me what is the percentage, right? So 17%, out of that, about, I would say 10% would be the actual leads. The rest will reply over the week. So when was it started? When did it stop? As I said, it's a slow tool, right? How many connection requests were sent? How many connected? How many replied to connection? How many failed to connect, because of various reasons? How many got blacklisted? Who were the contacts? What were the replies? Right? So you saw what's the cost. Somebody asked me what's the cost. I'm not going to send them the cost, obviously. But what was the connection message? Message after connection if no reply. So I can set up sequences here. I can add steps. If the person doesn't follow up after a certain time, I can send them another message. I can send them another message, and I can keep sending messages for weeks together. Automated fashion. But remember, I'm trying to add value. I don't want to send them another message which says work with me. Only the first two messages are like that. After that, I have to think. I have to come up with a message with some links, etc. That will add value to them, their business. And because all these campaigns are run on a day-to-day basis, we kind of curate the database that we want to reach out to. So I know there is some commonality between all these people have reached out to. So I'm going to send them another message which is going to be useful for them. Okay. You can do setting connection request is capped at 50 automatically. Scheduled time is India time, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. So all that. My network shows up here. I can do messaging from here instead of going to LinkedIn. I can manage everything here. As I said, it's a slow tool. You saw some message appear in LinkedIn while we were talking. That will not show up here immediately. That will take some time. That will take some time. But that's okay. I can do a search inside this. I can use, instead of going to the LinkedIn interface, I can do that search. In the sense, I can do the search inside LinkedIn, come and paste the URL here, and do the search. It will again show the entire list. Now, then from there, I can populate that into the campaign and run the campaign. So this tool kind of eliminates the need to go to Sales Navigator if you want to, right? Some folders, saved lists. Again, these are lists that I've saved based on the search criteria that I've made. Payment details and other things. Well, I can do a lot of templatization also on this tool, and they have made life much easier of late because this tool is just keeps getting better and better day by day. There's something called as playboard that has come in, which is a mega dashboard, right? And it shows the status, it shows the action I can take. I can pause this, I can delete them, I can chat with them directly, I can go to this thing. Now I can go to the campaign, individual campaign, I can see the stage. Again, these are things which I can set up inside vConnect, stages. Let me show you something. Let's say messages. I'm here. I'm chatting with this gentleman, and I can add tags here. I can create those tags, what tag I want to add. Right? I can also, let's say, this is the tag, and there's a place here where I can do something else, that is mark as lead. Once it reaches some stage, I can mark as lead, and I can only look at the leads. I don't have to look at everybody else. I can use this to follow up. There is a way also to download the list of leads. Maybe that is more for a more detailed discussion. But here is the thing: the people who are asking me, what about the lead list? What about the email list? Do this first. Use Sales Navigator. Reach out to the right people. Use WeConnect. How much does WeConnect cost? It costs $49 per month per account. Yes, you have to pay for Sales Navigator, then you have to pay for WeConnect. 2 accounts if you want to automate it, but it's worth the cost. I have to use about 10 minutes or 15 minutes in the morning, set up my campaign for the day. That's it. And post lunch, I look at all the people who have messaged me and I will answer and reply. And post lunch is my sales time, so I will do my sales activities. Makes life easy, right? And my team, of course, can follow up if they want to. I give them access to my LinkedIn account and they can follow up. Cool, right? So this is the tool I recommend. It works really well. Of course, there is some very, very advanced stuff which I'm not going to talk about today, but it's something which we can talk about another day. There's something called as API integrations. What is an API integration? Well, this, you have webhooks. You can configure webhooks. So I can pass data from here into another application, another tool. For example, I can pass data from here into a Google Sheet. I can connect my Google Sheet with Hunter.io. Hunter is another tool for email harvesting. Hunter will go into my Google Sheet, look at the name, look at the domain, other activities are there. It'll pull email ID from the servers and populate my email ID into that Google Sheet. Now this Google Sheet, I can connect it with another tool called, no, otherwise I can connect it with Hunter itself or MailRush or Mailshake. And this tool will connect with my account, my email account, and start sending cold emails. All this will happen automatically once I set it up. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is manage this dashboard. Here I say this is a lead. Book, it goes into my Google Sheet. From Google Sheet, Hunter automatically puts up the email ID. A cold email sequence starts. But the lead is it's a lead. It's a person I've already had a chat with. So they're expecting my email. And I don't have to worry about sending an email. Oh, will the email go? I don't have to wait. When can I send it? In the day? Nothing. All this is automated. The email automatically goes to the person. And if they don't respond, another email goes to them after 3 days. If I want to automate it further, there are other methods. There are much more advanced methods available. But I think we are running out of time today.